out to your parents? Martin and I have been together about, I don't know, 6 months. That's a long time in our world. We're not moving in together yet. But I don't know if my dad will understand. I mean, look at me. Broad shoulders, muscles to make Popeye envious. Who'd expect this of the quarterback? I think the guys will stop coming into the locker room after.
So, one of my boyfriends, this was about probably a good 6 months ago. It was fine. I mean, it was normal at first. We had a pretty good relationship. And then all of a sudden, he went psycho. And started making up the games.
I mean, maybe if he wasn't my coach too, and just my dad, I could tell him why I smile every time they snap the towels. It's hard. When he gets soap on a rope and I say, Dad, that's
he kept
really
making
not...
these crazy accusations about, you know, all these different things that I was supposedly doing. And he would follow me around.
She didn't understand. Why her? She was pretty, at least she thought so. And everyone else had always told her so.
What I want you to say is, it doesn't have to be Halloween for you to wear a tutu, son. I'll still love you. It's okay. We can watch football and soap operas.
So eventually I just had to, you know, break it off completely. I was like, I don't want to see you anymore. I don't want any of these crazy accusations. And I broke.
Every single time she thought that Mr. Right had come along, it just dropped. Right, the bottom just fell right out. And she got her heart broken every time. But she kept moving forward, and she didn't quite understand why. But she knew. She knew there was something better out there.
It's almost prom. He thinks I'm hanging out with the cheerleaders to do it like he did. Not so much. I just want the really good makeup tips. Those girls know how to put it on. Marcia. I know. It's a little Brady-ish.
Oh, he was not cool with that. He would not have any of that. I was not allowed to break up with him, and I was like, excuse me, I just did. I just broke up with you. That's what I just did, just now. And he started following me around even more, and I would go out on other dates, and he would come to them.
Then there was that one day, that one perfect day. She'd been fantasizing her whole life. She'd watched the Disney princess movies when she was a little girl and dreamed about being a princess. And dreamed that
He would
one
come
day...
to my other dates and cry. Cry while I was
Her
on another...
parents are more like Ward and June than those Brady parents. Except Ward and June on crack. I know it's really just pot, but hey, you gotta give it to the folks. Either way, they leave her alone.
So, he would come to these other dates and cry and completely ruin my entire...
So she's had plenty of time to whore it up. The
One
girl
day,
knows how...
she would be that princess. That prince would just ride up on the white horse, capture her from the tower, take her down, and take her off to her happily ever after.
She looks pretty good. Yeah, her hips are a little narrower than mine, but it doesn't mean her skirts don't fit.
Sure, he wasn't on a horse, and she wasn't exactly in a tower.
I looked at him and I was like, you're crying? Wow, you're more of a girl than I am. I was like, stop crying. No. And he's like, I'm like, oh my God, do not talk.
But to her, it was perfect.
So he's like, oh, please take me back. And I'm like, no, I am not taking you back. I've had enough. Eventually, to get it through the picture in his head, I just had to hit him. I just hit him once right in the nose. Broke his nose. He never called me again.
All I really want him to do is give me a solid bear hug and say, Junior, you look good in taffeta. It's cool with me.